Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Kathy, and for today's video, we will be going back to a very much commented or PM'd about topic, which is freelancing. And today I'd like to share with you the 5 apps or skills that you need to have so that you can get your foot inside the freelancing world. If this is something that is of interest to you, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click the like button, comment away, share this with someone who you think may be interested to become a freelancer, and I hope to get you started on this world. Okay, we are back. So again, my name is Kathy, and on this channel we do a lot of unboxings, first impressions, quick reviews. We talk about diamond painting, journaling. We also do a lot of event coverage, and lately we have been talking about freelancing and what it takes to become a freelancer. So my name is Kathy. I've been freelancing for over 10 years now, and I've done, almost all of the gigs that you can possibly do with freelancing as a social media marketer, digital marketer, marketing manager. I have been a content manager. I've been a community manager. I've done influencer marketing. I've done copywriting. I've done sales. I've created ebooks. So I can say pretty well that, I am well versed in the freelance industry. And I've come to realize that there are some basic things that you need to know if you want to become a freelancer. So one is that you need to know what Slack is. Yes, it's called Slack. That's S-L-A-C-K. So this is actually kind of like Messenger, but more for businesses. And what you need to remember is that everything that you write on Slack can be read by the company. Why? Because they're paying for that service for you guys to use, unless you're using the free version. But for most people, what you need to remember is that anything that you write on a communications channel inside your workplace can be read by the admin. So, make sure that when you write something there, if possible, it's all just business related materials, okay? Another thing that you need to know is what we call Google Meet or Google Hangouts. This is another form of chat room used by businesses, okay? And then the other one would be Teams. So that's Slack, Google Meet, and Teams. You need to know all of these things because they are almost always a form of communication channel used by businesses. For others, we also have what we call Bitrix. Okay, that's B-I-T-R-I-X, Bitrix. So these are things that if you can get your hands on, it would be really, really good because it's very useful as a tool when people say in the interview, "Are you familiar with Slack?" And you don't go, "The what?" Which I've done in the past. So no. So make sure you are familiar with Slack, Bitrix, Google Meet, and Teams. These are forms of communication as well as team meetings being done. So it's not all just Zoom. We also have team meetings. We also have Google Meets. Okay? So those are for the communication channels. The other one would be what they would call kind of like interface that you use to keep track of all of your tasks. So one, we have Bitrix. Again, yes, Bitrix is kind of new. Anyway, for me, this was something new that I learned from my last job. And it was a little complicated at first, but if you can get your hands on a Bitrix tutorial, that will be super good. Another one is Monday.com. This one is a colorful board that you see being used by people who promote productivity. So that's Monday.com. The other one would be Notion. Okay, so Notion, Asana, Monday, and Bitrix. These are 4 things that you need to learn if you are tracking tasks being done by your company being assigned to you. Another one is Trello. So you see, that's a lot of things that you need to know about. And you don't need to be a master of all of these, okay? Again, you just need to have an idea of how to use it, a little implementation, and that will give you an edge over other applicants, okay? So to summarize, 4 user interface task-related things: Bitrix, Asana, Notion, Monday.com, and then I mentioned another one, Trello, okay? For me, The most complicated would be Trello, because like you have to switch boards from left and right, and sometimes it just kind of goes over my head. Monday.com is something that I'm currently using right now. Initially, it was a little bit overwhelming, but again, once you get used to using it, you kind of get the gist that, oh, you just need to update every time, change the status if you're, from new project to in progress. You just really have to familiarize yourselves with these things, okay? So 1, we spoke about the communication channel. 2 is the task-related user interface, okay? And then I would say that the last thing that you need to know if you kind of want to be a freelancer is the difference between copywriting, social media management, community manager, digital marketing manager. When you know the difference between the 4, you will know which one really is your strongest suit and how you will present yourself to the freelancing world, because you cannot be all of it combined. Yes, you can be, but you would be exhausted and overwhelmed, and there's just kind of a blurring of the lines between the different responsibilities. So I know that I said I will only share 5 things, but I've actually shared a lot, and I hope that this was helpful to you in a way, as it was to me. I wish that these were things that were taught to me when I was fairly new, but sadly it wasn't the case. So I'm hoping that this can help out someone. Maybe as a bonus, there's another thing called time tracker, but for me this is the least useful thing to do, because time trackers, in my opinion, encourages inefficiency and slowness of work. Why? Imagine if you're already skilled and you can do a job that takes 2 hours and just 30 minutes. You will only get paid 30 minutes because that's the only time track. But this was something that you learned to do over the years. You have the skill set. It makes you better at what you're doing. But someone who's not so good and would take 2 hours, 3 hours, they get paid 3 hours because the time track for them to finish the job took 3 hours, whereas you, who was efficient and effective, only gets paid 30 minutes because of this time tracker. So for me, it is one of the most worthless tools in the freelance world, but sadly, there are companies who implement this. But really, if they're smart and they know what to do, and they know how to be more efficient and effective, they will do away with a time tracker. So again, my name is Kathy. I hope that this was helpful to you. And if not, if you have questions, you want to learn more, please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section below. I'd be more than happy to read them and try to answer them as best as I can. Again, please don't forget to subscribe. My name is Kathy, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!